this nap that he's been doing in the afternoon now. Sometimes he'll sleep in the chair. Um, so he's in the tent. I would sort of take it as he's getting more relaxed. Yeah, that's kind of what I would take it as. Um, Usually, when we were quote unquote hanging around Harvard, he would sleep like that in the library and he didn't say anything. He'd just sleep in a chair like that, sitting up. I don't know, maybe an hour or two. So we had lunch. I actually cooked lunch. So finished up the chicken thigh, started on the hot dogs. So got one, two, three, or four meals left of stuff that's going to be cooked, like meat stuff. And then I have cheese. Yeah, I've noticed it's like super extra noisy today. So I guess they're doing something with the bathrooms, probably because it's Labor Day weekend. It was way louder than that before. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't ask them. I don't know if someone clogged up a toilet or they're just like power washing the floor or something. It seemed like they were probably power washing the floor. It was pretty loud. It looks like there's already one new people down there because I walked like this entire loop this morning and there's pretty much like three. There was three people that were here, so that would mean everybody else is new. There's at least one, just that I can see from here, that's new. No, nobody left any wood this time. But one of those sites, I think it's on the other side, it has a little tiny bit of wooded area where you can get some kindling. Yeah. And then I noticed a couple of new people walking past the bathroom, so they must have just they probably knew over there, and they just want to walk around basically the campground, which is normal. Let's take a look at the campground and see what's around, and you look at the other campsites and stuff. And like I said, there's a beach down there. Okay, yeah, because I totally need to charge this thing, so I was waiting for them to get done. Uh, yeah, I don't know if the live streaming is gonna work. That's the thing about when I gotta charge it. It takes about an hour at this time of the day, maybe an hour and a half, because it's like down to 20 something percent. Yeah, it's a good time for him because he takes a nap, and I pretty much sit here. I can usually use like Twitter or something, but I noticed the live streaming isn't working when it's charging. Here comes some people now. It was just saying, yeah, so like when I was talking to Brian earlier, he really doesn't like this campground. Yeah. Um, I don't really think it's like just, I don't think it's that he really like hates camping. Yeah. I think that he just doesn't like this campground. Maybe after a month and a half, he thinks he's done camping, but he doesn't want to go back to sleeping on the ground either. So sometimes in life, like, I would rather keep camping, but granted, I would rather camp in a different campground too. You know, so it is what it is. So we're leaving here on the fourth, and then I've got a trip to pay off. So once you're back outside and like everything seems like copacetic, like before the incident happened, before he was attacked with the hammer, we had pretty much a thing going. The only reason that I went in the shelter is because I went in the shelter. You go, oh, I got a bed in the shelter. It's 8 weeks. Right? And honestly, we were having a little bit of problems then. Yeah, so it was like, okay, I will see you tomorrow. You're safe where you are with two other people that we both know. So, um, excuse me. Yeah, definitely take advantage of it. Take advantage of being able to lay down in the daytime, cook, sleep in. The bathroom is right there. Remember that when I'm sleeping outside, I have to hold my urine for about an hour or two after holding it all night long because it's a city. There's nowhere to even drop your pants. Yeah, I didn't even want to start thinking about that again, how horrifying that is, but it's part of what I'm saying. Your president is seeking the death penalty, okay, because it's not the first time you've done it to me. I know me, so I know what you've done to me, okay? Um, so you're forcing people to urinate outside because you're criminally insane. There was a Dunkin' Donuts in Quincy Center that used to be open 24 hours, and then you started closing it. That was the only toilet in the whole city that was open. You lock up porta potties, you put porta potties places, then put a lock on them because you're criminally insane. Just the thoughts in your head about people should do something, and these homeless people and these people are not using my porta potty, and everybody is a drug addict. You're mentally insane, and it's to the point of criminal. So your president's seeking the death penalty, and it's ongoing in what I think, and that's why you were getting those lung infections, and that's why you have the achy joints, and that's why you're all getting cancer. You get those strokes they were talking about. Justin Bieber and his wife both had it. Okay, so I started looking at like year-round campgrounds in like Arizona. Like I said, obviously God had me do because the reservations are supposed to open up this morning, and you go, "Who are you people?" Now you're doing that. So then there's one in Massachusetts. In every you can only book it for the weekend, so clearly that's not intended for homeless people. And it's everything for Thanksgiving is booked up, and it's a different price. It's $75 a night. Like, you people are completely deranged. Who are those people doing that? Are those like lovebird getaways, or are homeless people supposed to pay that so that they can cook a turkey? Like, what is that? Criminally deranged. What are you talking about? This is insane. Like, I work and then I can't have a vacation that makes me yes. So if you're a psychiatrist, just tell them yes. Yes. Like, sometimes there's enough explaining, right? Like, you're the people with the degrees, you're board certified, you got the white coat, you just go, yes. Yep, that is what I am saying. Okay? You're legally, mentally insane. And because your brain is so sick, there isn't a possible way to explain it to you. La da da da, la da da, la da 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 da. Now, I don't want to plug it in because I won't be able to live stream. 25%. It's going to take forever to charge. All right, so maybe just another couple of minutes. Put this here. There we go. How's that? So, anyway, back to my trip. If you look up, if you've never seen planes, trains, and automobiles, okay, just wiki it. All right. So it's got to be a bus. Yeah, it's got to be a bus. And this is the only problem about the flying because you guys made this up and you've like harmed a lot of people by doing it. The real Ma ID, the real Ma ID. So you can't actually have one. Yes, you can't actually have one because you're not the real Ma. Okay? There can only be one real Ma, right? Do you have two mothers? Right. The real Ma ID. So now everybody's got to pay $50 for this thing to fly domestically or get a passport. And homeless people just go, why are the passports so expensive? Why don't you have a program where you pay for passports for the homeless destitute? Like the reduced Charlie card. Can we pay half that amount? I mean, I don't even think we should pay for it at all, but could we pay half of that amount? So anyway, now because if I want to do the airplane back, because by then, right, you're like, okay, yeah, because the thing that's good about the bus is it takes a long time and it's automobiles. Because I have to bridge from the 15th to the 19th. Okay, and hotels are very expensive, right? So if I fly down there, I'm there that day, and then I've got to book a hotel, and then I've got to get a passport. Something's got to give. That's why at first I went. I guess I'm gonna I'll do a round trip bus because I think I could do another train. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. But if I get passports, then I'm definitely gonna do. I'll do a one-way bus, and then I'll do a plane at the end on the way back here. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Shower curtain ring guy. So it's like a Thanksgiving Christmas film. So well, we did get rid of the 5 nights in New York, but we'll be okay. We figured that out. We'll go in there for the day on the 30th. Um, Coming back in the red eye again, probably on a bus. We already have the train ticket out there because that was for the cruise. We'll take that. I have to get to the red eye bus back, and then we I got the train ticket to get from Boston to New York on. That's the one I get there like 12 a.m. on the day of the cruise. Yeah, so I have plenty of time to get to the cruise port, and we already had the train when the cruise is over to get back to Boston. Yeah, originally I wanted to go right to the airport, but there's so many days in between. Yeah, they're wicked bad at the airport now. I'm thinking even with the ticket, they probably go, your flight is not until this day or something. You know, I mean, you might be able to get a flight on like what, the 16th at midnight or something. Maybe the 17th. So you'd still get there on the 17th, and the thing doesn't leave till the 19th. Maybe I guess like the train comes back on the 15th, so you'd go to the airport that night. You would have to fly out of there like the early morning of the 17th, or they're gonna kick you out. Probably they're probably gonna look at you like, really? Why are you here like 36 hours before your flight? Why do you think we are? Anyways, and you can't talk to them like that, but you just go, because we're homeless, and now we have flights. Imagine if it was the same guy. We actually are flying out, but it's not though. So then we would get there like the after. Some of these flights will actually make you take 8 or 9 hours to get there too. So then we would get there on the 16th, right? Like at nighttime. 16, 17. Yeah, that's too many. No, I'm sorry. What did I say? Like early morning the 17th? That's 2 nights at the airport. Maybe. Because it's winter time too. Maybe. And then if your flight's at like 5 or 6 in the morning on the 17th. That's why I thought Providence, because at least the train takes up time and it's a different airport. It's not Boston Logan. So then you get there like the evening of the 17th. So it's again the 17th and the 18th at the airport. That one's worse because you're already back. You know what I mean? That one's worse. Yeah, I really think the bus, and it takes 2 days to get there. So the bus will be at like the middle of the night. So it's like closer to the 16th. And then we wouldn't get there till the 18th. So it's one night. That's why that would work. And then take the airplane back on the 23rd. If I could, I would actually redeem my free Bahamas trip, but I have to pay for him. I have to pay for him. It's free for me. It's not free for him. And I think that you have to do a week if you have another person, but I'm not sure. If you don't have to, then it's 3 nights, 4 days, $59 a night. I would do the ferry. I wouldn't fly to the Bahamas because it's wicked expensive. Yep. I would then do a ferry. The person starts going with them. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? It's an all inclusive. It's a Wyndham. There's a different ones, but one of them is Wyndham. Yeah, that would be awesome. Not gonna say a word until we take the train back to Boston, because then at that point I gotta go. Um, Merry Christmas. We're actually spending the night in the bus station. Yep. Ta-da! So I have to have it on me on the cruise, hide it somewhere in my luggage. Excuse me, that was my stomach. Hide it somewhere in my luggage, and just be like, oh yeah, this is that Christmas present I forgot to give you. So he is one of those people. He could be like completely surprised and like yay, but he'll just look at you like, so we're taking a bus to it. Yeah, we're taking a bus to it, and he'll immediately go, how long is that going to take? Because I just know him so well. How long? So we have to stay in the bus. That's what he's going to do. You get used to it. Yeah, it's like depressed people. You get used to it, but that's exactly how he'll act, I'm sure. Why did you pick a bus that takes? I know that's what they do. Why did you pick a bus that takes 2 days so we don't have to pay for a hotel? Because the bus is going to cost the same amount of money, the train's going to cost the same amount of money, and an airplane's going to cost the same amount of money. I think honestly, they're all the same. The cheapest thing sometimes, if you get a good deal, is an airplane, but it doesn't cover your luggage, and then you've got to pay for a hotel. So yeah, that's the cheapest way to do it. Is instead of sleeping on a hotel, you sleep on a bus. You sleep at a bus station a night. You sleep in an airport a night. You sleep in a train station a night. That's the usually the Amtrak closes. I found out Amtrak doesn't do that, but they're usually connected to a bus station that's open all night. Right, so that's what you do. I'm sure people have been doing this for since time began. I'm sure because they're just cheap, or they want to take a vacation and they can't afford all these hotels. Uh, that would be awesome, though, wouldn't it? After the second cruise is over, okay, so, because he'll start asking, okay, so how are we getting back? Um, in airplane? Okay, so first we have to go to here, wherever the ferry departs from. There might be one that departs from Fort Lauderdale. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Miami, but there might be one that departs from Fort Lauderdale. Be like, okay, but first we have to go to the pier. I am sure someone, at least one person on Earth, right? Something happened where like they retired, okay, and it was like the beginning of their retirement. So for the last 5 years of before they retired, they did this to a person. I'm sure we all should have someone like me in your life, right? Because no one does this stuff for me. Where they planned for 5 years, something like this, I am sure. Remember, what was the name of that film, RV, with Robin Williams? It was like that, right? Or like Chevy Chase with the vacation, because it's got to be a surprise. That's one of the things. Um, maybe at the end of it, they get a little bit bummed out because they're like, is this really the end of the, like they thought there might be another thing. Um, yeah, that's why it should be something like extra crazy at the end. Like, okay, now we're going to a ferry, something like, we're going to a ferry. Rich people do this, and it's probably like a hot air balloon. Now we're going to the hot air balloon. What the? So, anyways, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? If you just go, okay, now we're going. You know, someone did this, or like one of their parents died and they sold their house, or like they got a retro check from Social Security. Someone did this when all of a sudden they went, "What do I do with this?" Okay, like you're on the Amazing Race or something. I like surprises, yeah. I really like surprises, especially I like surprises when they're positive, not when they're bad. Yeah, so yeah, that's not gonna happen, but I'm just sort of like fantasizing about that. You just go, that would be another 3 nights and 4 days. And then you'd have to fly from the Bahamas back to Boston. So who knows? Who knows if I think it takes a bit of time to find out if you won your appeal at Social Security. So right, if something like that ever happened, then I may not even book a flight back to Massachusetts at the end of this. Right, because then you would want to go wherever it is you think you want to live. If you're used to being homeless, you might want to scout out a place first, right? And just be like, we know we definitely don't want to live in Orlando. We know that. Um, but yeah, you want to like then go somewhere where you're looking at like trailer parks or whatever, like I was talking about. It would be a similar thing. It would be like camping, except it's a trailer park that we can afford to pay the monthly rent, and we can walk to grocery stores and stuff, whatever it is we need. It'd be a similar thing. All right, I gotta plug this thing in. Oh, hello. Who's this? Sorry, I can't see. Whoa, it's almost time for the blazing sun, anyways. Hi. I'm just about to shut it off, and then I'll turn it back on later. I gotta charge my laptop, which is essentially a hotspot. He doesn't basically. He puts on cold case files and FBI files so he can just listen to it. It's almost like ocean music to him, or he sleeps. Okay, I gotta charge the thing.